How's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the quarterfinals of the Vancouver Sevens. This one, Argentina taking on the Samoans. Now, it didn't seem likely that Samoa were going to make their way through to the quarterfinals, receiving just the 3 points throughout their group stage fixtures, but there was a little bit of luck. There was some brilliance from the Spanish to knock the Canadians out, and it meant that Samoa took that spot and do now move on to this quarterfinal. Now, already we do know that the USA will be the side who are making it through to the semis. The winner of this contest will go head-to-head with that USA side. Now, Samoa, they have already met them in the group stage. They were defeated 17 points to 7. They want to improve here. In fact, it was a little bit higher than that. I think 21 points to 7, in fact, for the score. And that contest for Argentina, they have been flawless, winning 3 wins from 3 in the group stage, and I need to mention they are on a 12-match winning streak. If they are able to win all of their games from here on out, it will be the longest winning streak in Argentinian Sevens history, beating the record from 2004. So there is a lot on the line for these young players and the veterans of this Argentinian team, but the lineup that they have gone with, it is going to be as follows: Luciano Gonzalez, Marcos Maneta, of course, knowing exactly how to score tries. Joaquin Palladini, someone who actually very impressed or thoroughly impressed me throughout that last match up against the Flying Fijians. Matthias Azutsuk, Santiago Alvarez, Tobias Wade, and Rodrigo Isgro. So a very strong starting lineup for Los Pumas. The fact that they still have some very talented players off the bench as well means that they will be a tough side to take down for the Samoans. It is Noeli Letufia, Fa'afoi Falaniko, Vawasa Apasua, the captain. Motu Opitai got himself a double in the first game up against the Australians. Steve Onisai, Elisapeta Alofipo, and Taunuu Naulivaya, the last man who is in this lineup. So, this game just around the corner. We know that the USA are winning their game up against GB 27-0. They have made a statement in the quarterfinals. Now, we also know that South Africa will be taking on Australia in the 9th place playoff game that is happening early tomorrow morning, but just around the corner for the semis as well, I should mention, the quarterfinals, we are going to see New Zealand versus Fiji. That is the next game, and that is going to be an absolutely awesome one, followed by France versus Ireland. France are looking like a little bit of a dark horse of this competition, of course, with the injection of Antoine Dupont. Everyone wants to know, what are they going to be able to do in playoff rugby? Can Dupont get past a rugby quarterfinal? 1 minute past the full-time siren. Looks like Great Britain want to continue playing for just that little bit longer, using up the rest of their gas tank. They will be in action tomorrow up against the loser of the match between Samoa and Argentina. This one that is happening just around the corner. But I hope you are all doing very well. I hope you're excited for these quarterfinals. Another penalty gone against the USA. Their discipline letting them down. Something that Samoa have been known to do in the past is give away repeated infringements. But if they can get that right here up against Argentina, I believe that the strength and also that offloading ability of Samoa will keep them in this contest. But such a tough side to beat at the moment, Argentina. They have really got the full, pretty much set of skills that you want in a game of sevens, whether that's pace, whether that's power. Guido has said por in there as well, and Argentina wins, says Juan there. And also Go the Manu, says Joe a little bit earlier on. Tia Tia was in the chat there as well. But the USA have kicked that ball into touch, so they will advance to the next stage, ladies and gents. And now we have to wait and see exactly whether it will be Argentina continuing their winning streak or whether it will be the Samoans to be able to stop such a streak. And that's the thing. Every point is crucial on this circuit of the Sevens. Samoa are currently sitting 9th overall. Now, any points that they get here can push them a little bit outside of that relegation zone, which USA are also very close to. So the fact that USA have gone far means that we also need to see Samoa advance a bit further, or else, like I mentioned, relegation could be on the cards. Let's go Samoa. Pacific Love, says Nasal, and the chat as well. Do let me know your score predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, for this matchup between these two sides. Of course, Fiji versus New Zealand just around the corner, as well as France versus Ireland. The winner of those two quarterfinals will be playing each other, but the winner of this game going head-to-head with the USA. Most recent game for Samoa was a loss to the US. Most recent game for the Argentina, they pulled off the victory over the Fijians, which is a rematch that we could see a little bit later on in the competition if they are able to advance. But Vawasa Afasua leading the Samoans out onto the field. If there is ever a time to get it right, it is right now for Manu Samoa. They have had moments throughout this competition. Their first game up against Australia, they were doing extremely well. The other two games only scoring the 2 tries in total between those two fixtures. What has been hurting them. But anyone who hasn't heard it, Motu Opitai, Vawasa Afasua, Fa'afoi Falaniko, Nueli Litufia, Steve Onisai, Elizabeta Alofipo, and Taunu'una Ulivaya, the last man. And the starting side for the Argentines, Luciano Gonzalez, Marcos Maneta, Joaquin Palandini, Matthias Azutsuk, also Santiago Alvarez, Tobias Wade, and Rodrigo Asgar. Are you doing Sevens again next weekend? We certainly are. The LA Sevens are just around the corner. We will be covering them on the channel alongside Super Rugby Pacific. But Samoa are going to be kicking off the left to the right. Looks like it's going to be Fa'afoi Falaniko ready to get us underway for the second quarterfinal of the Sevens competition. But it is kicked off high by Manu Samoa. Not slapped back by Isgro in an effective manner, which does mean that Samoa have got themselves the ball once more. Had some decent moments throughout their last game up against the USA. Just took their foot off the gas in the second half. Tell you what, Steve Onisai, he's made it to the try line. Coming back for his first leg since Hong Kong. And Samoa have now got themselves the lead. 5-0. His third try in the Vancouver Sevens. And that is a start and a half, ladies and gentlemen. Are you doing Six Nations? Or is it over? Says Brandon, we have still got the game between France and Italy that is taking place at 4 a.m. tonight. Steve Onisai was able to outpace Marcos Maneta. It was just that little side shuffle that managed to sell him the wrong way. But the kick from the Samoan kicker Alofipo, it is over. That now means that the score is sitting 7-0 in favour of Samoa. A dream start to this quarterfinal up against an undefeated side so far throughout this competition, but they need to keep applying the pressure. We know how quickly Argentina can turn a game around. They've done it multiple times throughout the last couple legs of the Sevens. The ball has been slapped back and nicely cleaned up by Luciano Gonzalez. Los Pumas now in possession, player not rolling away. That was Alofipo. It's better you didn't cover cricket, because Rain is playing hide and seek in Auckland, so frustrating. Yeah, we were watching that game just a little bit ago, and also we've been watching the Marsh Cup in between, and that's been a decent game, although it looks like Western Australia should be able to take that one pretty easily, as long as all things go well. But the ball is kicked into touch by Argentina. Rodrigo Isgro, hopefully his ribs have recovered from that shot he took in the last game up against Kiminelli Risaku. Going to be not the straightest line out for Argentina, but it is straight enough. They will now be able to pass it out wide. Isgro goes to Marcos Maneta. It's cut inwards. Away from that touchline, Tobias Wade at the Palandini. Another big fend coming in for the Samoans. Isgro. Ball on the outside. Stepping around, and there's a lot of slipping at the moment. To be honest, out there on the field on AstroTurf, it is actually very tricky to get your bearings. You're trying to slip and slide to an absolute minimum, but all it takes is one wrong foot, and you do end up sliding over. Even there, Fa'afoi Falaniko trying to join the breakdown, changing direction quickly, ends up getting knocked to the side. Now getting driven backwards here for Samoa. Looking for the next gap. Letufia puts a ball on the outside now. A bit of space opening up for Motu Opitai. Like I mentioned, got himself 2 tries in the first match for Samoa of the Sevens campaign. Alofipo going to go for the cross kick. That is a slightly new tactic from Samoa. And Vawasa Apasua, he's not able to catch up to that ball. It would have been effective had it worked. But now it's given Argentina an opportunity to attack inside of Samoa's half. Something that they've had limited opportunities to do throughout this match so far, but just a little bit too much on that one. And play your best, Uso Samoa, says Solomona. Argentina have not lost a cup quarterfinal since Hong Kong last season. And they also have not lost a game in the last 12 that they have played. One of the longest winning streaks in Argentinian Rugby Sevens history, trying to match the 2004 if they win this game and the semi. But Luciano Gonzalez breaks through 2 tackles, still manages to stay on his feet. He is a ball of muscle. That gap's open up now. Palandini, ball in the inside to Isgro, another offload. Tobias Wade, 5 metres out. Alofipo, that will be a deliberate knockdown. It wasn't on purpose, but they will call it deliberate. And now they'll go back, I believe, for not just the yellow card here. They might even have a look to see whether or not it is worthy of a penalty try. But this is the last thing that Samoa want. We are seeing now it will be the yellow card for Alofipo. Like I mentioned, he was trying his best to be able to play at that ball. If you can't get 2 hands to it, you get heavily penalised. They're checking to see if Fa'afoi Falaniko did actually place that ball. Tell you what, I think that's a try to Marcos Maneta. I think that Fa'afoi Falaniko has at no point got clear grounding of that ball, which means that it's available for Moneta to force, and he does so. I think that this is going to be a try now to Argentina, and that will get them back into this contest. Sitting 5 points to 7, and not only that, they have now got the man advantage over these Samoans. It's going to be tricky, but we know that Samoa at times do have their backs up against the walls. And a game of sevens, their discipline normally is the thing that does let them down that little bit. Now 7 points to 0. Great little chip in behind from Marcos Maneta. I should mention that the quarterfinals are currently, of course, taking place. The semi-finals are around the corner, first of which is taking place at 9:43 a.m. tomorrow morning. 7 each at the moment for these two sides. Penalty is won by Samoa. And yellow card for Argentina now. Player was knocking the ball away. That was Rodrigo Isgro. Now both sides going to be playing with just the 6 men out there on the park. Isgro off for the next 2 minutes. Alofipo off for the next 50 seconds. Yep, deliberately kicked it away for Rodrigo. Isgro was hoping that the referee did not spot it, but this referee is one of the most experienced on the Sevens circuit. Not a lot gets past him. Earlier on, we actually saw him have one where he called a player out for not taking the tap correctly. That one is not found touch from Samoa. Another mistake that now gives the Pumas a chance to charge towards the try line. Luciano Gonzalez has the men on the outside with Azunsuk. Now gets it away to Marcos Moneta. He's going to put the kick forward. Steve on his side, trying to stop him from running through. Well cleaned up by Letufia. Beautifully done. He's actually taken Moneta out of play from the way that he slid. Now kicking that one in behind, waiting for the bounce of the ball, is Santiago Alvarez. Opitai makes the tackle on the halfway line. That ball's come out the back for Samoa. Now Steve Onisai gets it out wide. Ankle tap was unsuccessful, but it is a forward pass from Steve Onisai. It would have been the try for Taunua Oliveira. Just drifts forward by about a metre. Alofipo now is going to be making his way back out onto the field. So now Samoa, for the next 40 seconds, have actually got a man advantage in this quarterfinal. This game currently a lot lower scoring than I did anticipate. I think my prediction was 33 points to 12. Samoa have improved their error rate. In Perth, it was 5.2 per game. In Vancouver, just the 1.7. They've only scored 2 tries in their last 2 fixtures. This would be 3 tries in their last 3 games now. They want to up that a little bit more, but Argentina have got themselves a scrum feed. Palandini going off to Santiago Alvarez. In fact, it's Tobias Wade now. Wrestled down. Azutsuk goes back across to the right-hand side. Palandini now to Alvarez. Quick hands, nicely done. Yeah, wide to Luciano Gonzalez. Just uses his power. Driving towards the try line. He's a hard man to stop. But Samoa have just managed to drag him down. Now Azutsuk going back across Palandini. Rush defense. There was almost a knock-on from Samoa again. No, they've called it as just a knock-on in the process of a tackle. And that is now going to be half-time. Vavas Afasua does not agree. He felt that there wasn't a knock-on there. half-time in this contest. 7 points each. Now, these two sides have even met in golden point time before. They've gone right down to the wire in the past. And this game feels like it's going to be no different. I think that one little error could cost these two sides. Now, I should mention this is for a spot to play the USA in the first semi-final. The second semi-final will be confirmed in about 15 minutes' time, when we do get to see New Zealand versus Fiji in 10 minutes, and then in 31 minutes it will be France versus Ireland. That will be the other matchup. Could see Dupont taking on maybe the Kiwis or the Flying Fijians. Imagine that, the first time Dupont has to deal with those big men from Fiji. It will certainly be a wake-up call in terms of that physicality that can be brought in sevens. Second half just around the corner. I think the subs will come thick and fast for both of these sides. Neither of them really finding their full stride throughout that first 7 minutes. One moment, I'm about to sneeze again. We are good. I thought you said the Poms, says Naz Williams. Although Great Britain were beaten by the USA 27-0 in that contest. Crowd absolutely loving the atmosphere at the moment. 7 points each. Seen limited mistakes from these two sides, or specifically Argentina, throughout their group stage fixtures. They're just showing a man who's randomly thrusting at the camera, and then there's a man in denim with a Speedo on. That is what you expect at the Sevens. You never know who's going to turn up. You never know what you're going to see on the camera. We have there, go, Samoa. See, has La Philly. And there as well. But it is going to be the Argentinians who are kicking this one off. Trying to get it just the 10 meters. And Escro has done brilliantly to be able to swat it back. But Samoa end up with the possession. Although there will now be the penalty to Santiago Alvarez, who got in the breakdown, got himself locked in over the ball, and manages to steal possession. Next quarterfinal, kicking off in around 7 minutes' time. That is between New Zealand and Fiji. We are also covering that game on the channel alongside France versus Ireland, which is the match that has taken place afterwards. Now throwing this one in. Nicely taken by Argentina. Oh, great run forward from Tobias. Way flat ball to Luciano Gonzalez. They are only 10 meters out. Just need a good pass. Gonzalez has managed to regather it. Marcos Manera looking towards the corner, but he's taken down his own teammate, sitting him down. Cross kick to Azad, and that will be the try again for Argentina. Samoa pulls this off. It will be one of the biggest upsets ever, says Musin there. It would certainly end the Argentinian winning streak that they find themselves on, one of the longest in Argentinian rugby sevens history. This would make it 13 in a row that they've been able to win. And during that streak, they have beaten South Africa, New Zealand, Ireland, Samoa, Fiji, Australia twice in the finals. They have beaten a lot of top contenders on the Seven circuit. Great try for Argentina. Azad Suk, Marcos Manera, he saw that there was an opportunity to pass it out wide, but instead decided the kick would be a little bit quicker. It's the high five from the try scorer. The kick has also gone over. That makes the score 14 points to 7. Go Argentina, says Juan Ignacio Pedroso. 5 minutes remaining. Of course, we cannot have a draw in this game. That is great pressure from Isgro. And all in good for Samoa now. All their games at 7-7 and the floodgates open against them. Says Mus. Probably a fair assessment. I mean, at the end of the day, their last game up against the USA, they were close at halftime. Then they let it slip. Their game up against France, I think that they were always struggling to get into that game. Do you think Dupont is okay? Says Hanoi. I mean, I don't think he's lit the world on fire in the Sevens circuit as of yet. Like, the first game they had him come off the bench. I think the second game didn't see him score. Third game, he might have got a try. I'll just have a quick check. Up against the Australians. Sefo, yeah, Antoine Dupont did get the try in the second half. But other than that, I think that it's actually shown how strong Steven Perez is. Oh, that's going to be a good tackle. Not sure what that dive was from Isgro, trying to ask the referee for some sort of penalty. Oh, I think they're talking about the fact that because Isgro was hit so hard in the last game, they think that maybe he is running it a little bit lighter at the line. But 3.5 minutes now remaining. Another change being made. This time it is actually going to be Rodrigo Isgro after dropping that ball. They have taken him from the field. It's a brutal game, Sevens. Sometimes those little decisions can actually help your side drastically. I do see that Valvasa Afasua has made his way from the field for the Samoans, and Yunasioni is the replacement they have ended up going with. Now, ball retained by Samoa at scrum time. They get the penalty. The front row's going up to Ponce Pay is most likely more than the Samoan, Fijian Seven squads combined. Says Moose. Yeah, it's very unfortunate in a way. Like, of course, credit to Antoine Dupont for his ability to be able to make a massive salary out of it. But yeah, there are a lot of underpaid players. Now, that's a beautiful run down the wing. Fafui Falanigo, he's just been crushed. Just going to be laid on by Tobias Wade. And Argentina says Garita. And there as well, now there is going to be the advantage for offside. The ball has been dropped, but Samoa have got themselves another penalty. Like I said, these two sides have gone to Golden Point before in those contests. I believe both times it did go to Argentina, but now our Waiona Sione cutting forward, gets through and scores the try for Samoa. They're back in the game now. And Argentinian flags from Garita. And Thomas has said, I can watch. Depends on whereabouts you are in the world, Thomas. But if you go on the HSBC website or World Rugby Sevens website, they have a section that says where to watch, depending on where you are in the world. So I'd recommend that. A lot of them are paid subscriptions, though, unfortunately. Would be big if Samoa win this. Says Anoia would be absolutely huge for them. Letafia has messed up the kick, though. It's always going to be a tricky one, but it now makes the score 14 points to 12. There are only 2 minutes remaining now. Go Samoa, says Robert. Go Argentina wins, says Juan. And there as well. 2 minutes left. Next game, of course, just around the corner from happening, ladies and gentlemen. That is the game between Fiji and New Zealand. That is going to be a hard-hitting, fast-paced affair, just like we have seen between these two sides. Samoa not kicking at the 10 metres. That is a massive mistake. And Fafoi Whananiko, I believe he knows how crucial that could have been. Sometimes it's just the one thing for Samoa that ends up getting slightly thrown off. Like they're saying on the artificial grass as well, it can take a little bit of getting used to in terms of the bounce of the ball. Even with something like a drop kick. And Good Live says, Garita, thank you very much. Anyone who is new to the channel, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are covering both these sides' next contests that are taking place. Samoa going to the trophy, says Master. Though first, they've got to get themselves a try here. So Marcos Maneta running backwards at the moment, trying to find that next gap. Steve Onisai slips and falls. A bit hard on the AstroTurf. That's going to be knocked on by both sides. So now Samoa will have themselves the scrum. Hang on. Hang on. The referee is saying it is a knock on. That's really bad. That should be Samoa's scrum. But the referee has said otherwise. And now Argentina only 35 seconds left. That is a massive call at this stage of the contest, and it might just be the deciding factor. Samoa, 30 seconds remaining here for the Argentines, trying to break their way through. And now they know that they have to try and work for the ball in every single breakdown. Out of South Africa beat New Zealand in game 1, they miss out on the finals, lol. Says Juan, good work in the breakdown from Samoa. They will not get it. 10 seconds remain. And Argentina, I believe, due to that controversy, will close out this contest with a victory here. Put back into the pocket. It is booted into touch by Argentina. 14 points to 12. And that's going to be the end of the contest. Unfortunately, from that double knock on, they just weren't able to get the ball back. Samoa, Argentina, once again a close game, but they have managed to keep that streak alive by the thinnest of margins and winning that game as well. And Argentina wins, says one, and go Samoa, says Master, but nonetheless, we will go over to that next one. Samoa got robbed. You hate to see that. Yeah, it's a shame because who knows what would have happened if that was called correctly. If we saw Samoa get one last attack, maybe could have been a whole different story. But we are going over now to the next live stream, ladies and gentlemen. That is the one between New Zealand and Fiji. So we will see you all in a very short moment.